My name is Janna, and I'm here to talk about safe, nutritious food for all of our residents. I live here in the city, but I'm a marketing manager for a farmers market organization, so I spend all my time around food, working with farmers, and really trying to figure out how to bridge the gap between the rural and urban communities. So I want to throw out a couple of questions. My farmers get up every morning, grow delicious, nutritious food for us, then they pick it, clean it, pack it, and get it into the city within 24 to 48 hours of having it picked. So when did it become okay for all of us to then complain about their prices, which actually reflect the real cost of food production? And when did food really start to lose its value? When did we begin devaluing food? And then at what point did it become cool not to know how to cook anymore? And why don't people know how to grow food anymore? And why don't children know how food is grown? And I walk a fine line here in Baltimore City. I work for a farmers market organization, so my job is to maximize the profits for my farmers. But then on the other hand, I realize that residents in our city can't afford the very food that my farmers grow. So that kind of leads to my next question, is when did it become okay for our city's most vulnerable residents, those who are low income, elderly, and our children, to be fed some of the worst quality food available? Well, in many parts of our cities, residents can only find fast food or beer, and nothing wrong with that, but they can't find the very food our health community is always telling them to eat. Well, Tony Geraci, who's the new Baltimore City food service chef for the school system, doesn't think this is okay, and he's got a 33-acre farm and a plan to get fresh fruits and vegetables into Baltimore City schools. Who runs Growing Power and just received a MacArthur Genius Grant, doesn't think this is okay either. He creates urban gardens and revenue-producing businesses in Milwaukee and Chicago that have become national models for us all to follow. And the city of Toronto doesn't think that this is okay either. Their Department of Health has an internal organization that's dedicated to finding and growing safe, healthy, nutritious food for all of its residents. So this brings me to my next question. How come we still have all these lots sitting vacant in our city? We could be growing fresh fruit and vegetables and creating economic opportunities for our residents. And why do we have this huge green lawn in front of City Hall and on the Inner Harbor that takes a lot of water to stay green but gives nothing back to our residents? Well, the city of San Francisco took their front lawn and turned it into a food garden. Fritz Haig, who's an international artist, takes people's front lawns and community spaces and he turns them into edible gardens, which to me are more beautiful than any kind of green, pristine, unused lawn. He did this to a house here in Baltimore City, and we can do it all over the city, actually. And Eat the View, which is a grassroots campaign, and Michael Pollan, who's the author of The Omnivore's Dilemma, have challenged our new president-elect to turn the South Lawn into a victory garden. When Eleanor Roosevelt did this, more than 20 million home gardens were supplying 40% of the food that people consumed in the United States by the end of World War II. So here's what Michael Pollan challenged. He said the president should throw his support behind a new victory garden movement. This one seeking victory over three critical challenges that we face: high food prices, poor diets, and a sedentary population. Just as importantly, victory gardens offer a way to enlist Americans in body as well as in mind in the work of feeding themselves and changing our food system, something more ennobling surely than merely asking them to shop a little differently in times of crises. Indeed, this enlists all of us in this great cause by turning food consumers into part-time food producers and reconnecting the American people with the American land, and then demonstrating that we don't need to choose between the welfare of our families and the health of the environment. And my last question, when will we finally admit that food is not equally available to all Baltimore City residents and actually do something about it? So my proposal is this, that we use food in our city as a community builder, not a community divider. Food is our common bond. We all eat it, we all need it. And the author Wendell Berry, who is way more eloquent than I can ever possibly hope to be, says that really in order to save ourselves globally, we actually have to think locally. It's the only way we can think. And as supposedly equal citizens in a free nation, we have to use our freedom to improve our communities. Equality, he said, is anything but free. If we have equality and nothing else, no compassion, no courtesy, no sense of mutual obligation and dependence, and worst of all, no imagination, then power, wealth, and brutality will always rule. So until there's equal food access for all of our residents, we remain an unequal city. And Wendell Berry challenges us, and I'm totally paraphrasing here, if we can think locally, take far better care of things, the right local questions and answers will also be the right global ones. The Amish question, due to our community, tends towards the right answer for the world. But to me, this could be also the right question we ask our Baltimore City. So thank you.